There have been some updates in the Kaysera Stops Pretty Places case, and I sat down with her aunt to get all the details. What's right? What's wrong? What's misinformation? Was she really wrapped in plastic when she was found? But first, if you're new here, my name is Sarah Turney. I went on social media begging the world to care about my missing sister and have since started the Voices for Justice podcast, where I cover her case as well as other cases in need of justice like Kaysera's. Now, I think a lot of us can relate to a similar situation Kaysera was in. That's a house party. I think a lot of us have maybe gone out with friends, maybe did a little bit of drinking, and then the cops show up. You all kind of scatter. But here's where it's different. Have you ever had a friend jump a fence and just lay down and not get back up? Because that's what investigators say happened to 18-year-old Kaysera in 2019 in Hardin, Montana. But there is so much more to this story. One of Kaysera's friends who was there that night has recently come out and given us more information about kind of what happened. Essentially, they were all together with this man named Natosi, who was older. He was the one buying the drinks. And eventually, Natosi and another girl get into a fight. Kaysera steps in. They all end up going to the end of the street where a cop drives by. Now they all scatter. And essentially, Natosi, allegedly, according to this girl's statement, starts running down some of the members of the party in his truck. Now, they do get away from Natosi, but they can't find Kaysera after this. She's not found until days later, and to me, that doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you why. Officials say that Kaysera just laid down, didn't get back up after drinking, and was just miraculously found in this yard days later. Now, here is my trouble with that. This yard is enclosed by a chain link fence, meaning that it's totally see-through. Now, according to my interview with Kaysera's Aunt Grace, she says that the man who owned this yard kept it up very nicely. It was usually pretty tidy. He raked, got rid of the leaves, all that kind of stuff. And not only that, it backs up against a very busy street where there are joggers like the person who found Kaysera. There are people walking their dogs, and it's estimated that a car drives by every 30 seconds on this street. So a very busy street where it seems like Kaysera should have been totally visible. There are also reports that the jogger may have found Kaysera wrapped in plastic, which would obviously change everything. But according to Grace, authorities won't confirm or deny that with her family. Honestly, there is so much to go over in this case. It's a lot to put in a TikTok, including how this man, Terry Bullis, told Kaysera that their only option was cremation, which directly went against their beliefs. It also later came out that he has kind of a pattern, if you will, of not doing a full investigation before deciding that Indigenous people are gone because of substance use issues. I think it's also extremely worth mentioning that before Kaysera went missing, she recorded and uploaded an interaction between her brother and the police department that was not so flattering. This upload interaction, her exposing this to the world, did result in an investigation and some officers were reprimanded. Now, according to my interview with her Aunt Grace, some of the family do believe that one of the officers at the scene when she was found was under investigation for that exact act. Like I said, there's so much to go over in this case. Let me know if you want a part 2, if there's anything you want me to explore here on TikTok. In the meantime, you can go over to Voices for Justice and listen to the whole episode, like I said, including the interview with her Aunt Grace.